Welcome to my channel and another tutorial where we're going to create a mini zine. This one has lots of CAT-TI-TUDE and it features Tim Holtz's Crazy Cat stamps as the focal image, as well as some new sentiments that I've started to collect. So first thing, you need to fold your paper. I'm using 11 by 14 paper. You're going to fold it hot dog style. Open it up, fold it hamburger style. Open it up. Now where the hamburger style is, you're going to fold each in half again so that you end up with 8 sections like this. So my Sassy Sayings sentiment pack works well here, but I've actually created some other ones that are great for putting with cat pages or dog pages. Stay tuned. So I'm applying color to my page, and I decide that instead of all over color, I'm going to kind of go in the rainbow effect, blending the colors as I go. So I started with turquoise, then I mixed it with yellow, which I got the green, and then to the yellow, I added magenta, so I get orange, deep violet, and then I repeat the colors, turquoise, yellow, green. Here I'm using some Tim Holtz stamps. This is Mixed Media 2 stamp. I want some contrast. I want some interest into this background. So he has lots of really great stamps. He's got 2 sets, Mixed Media 1 and Mixed Media 2, and I'll put a link to both of those in the description box below. I want this all over. Now the first 2 sections are going to open together in a page, and you could use it as one page or make it into 2. This is script dot or dot script dot stencil, and I'm using white. Quite often when I start my stenciling, I put a layer of white down first. Then I'm going to end with white and black later on. Remember, we're building those interesting layers. If you don't have this exact stencil, that's fine. Use something. This one has larger openings, and I like that at this stage. I'm going to put different ones with different scales, different sizes. This one's called Dahlia Trio. And I believe this is the first time I put paint through it. I'm using the deep violet here, and as you can see, it's more translucent. It doesn't show up as much as the white, and that's okay. You want to build layers, some that are more forward, some that are going to hang back. I want some interesting shapes and patterns. Wherever I'm putting it, here I'm using the turquoise paint. I'm putting it on the colors that are complementary colors. I know that they're going to stand out and really pop. Whereas if I put it on the magenta, it's going to more blend in. Often I use the same stencil, 2 colors of paint, 2 different colors of paint. So we have the pattern 2 different ways. I'm turning the page constantly. Right now, I don't know which end is up, which way I'm going to go up. This is ripples. There's the deep violet, and I'm selecting where I want it. I want it to show up, and depending on the color underneath, the color is going to look somewhat different, adding more interest to your page. The stencil is called Kaleidescope, and I'm using bright aqua here, and it really pops. Bright aqua is a very opaque paint, which means that you won't necessarily see what's behind it. Whereas that deep violet, you could still see the color behind it. Each one has its place on your page. Your goal is to make an interesting, colorful background to set off your black and white focal images. You can use clip art, you can use stamped images. get creative. I've done flowers, I've done the crazy birds, I'm doing the cats, I've done butterfly die cuts as well. So I'm folding it just to see what each section looks like. Is there something here that I need to add? I want to add some black, so I grab this fantasy tile stencil and I'm stenciling in the black. And while I'm liking the black, I'm not 100% happy with this, but I continue on because I know that I'm not done. This is one layer. And we're going to be putting focal points and we're going to be putting sentiments. This is a trivet that is silicone and it has a honeycomb pattern. So I'm putting black paint on it and using it as a stamp. It makes the most wonderful honeycomb stamp on here. And this is more the black scale that I was looking for. So this really made me happy. I also use some shelf liner with putting white dots on there, smaller scale. So now I'm folding it in half, the hamburger style, and I'm going to cut from the center, the folded edge, to the first and only intersection, just like that. Now I'm going to stand it up and swoosh it together. And here I'm going to spend some time shaping the pages, getting firm folds. I want everything to lay flat and to work. So I'm turning it, opening it, pressing it together. So now I need to apply some glue. And here I use glue stick. I don't use glue stick often, but I think using gel medium or that would just, I can't even imagine. So I'm putting the glue on. I'm working very quickly because I don't want it to dry. I'm getting a good coat of it right across. And I'm going to try to stand it up and push it in. So here's where where you spent all that time getting it shaped really pays off. It allows you to do this rather quickly. Now I'm pressing everything down. You could get out a brayer and brayer it flat. I'm checking to make sure that everything, all the edges are glued down, adding a little bit more glue as needed. Folding the pages, trying to decide which one is more natural front. Loving the different colors in here. So now comes the time where I have my crazy cats, which I cut. I gave a little bit of a white edge on here. So now I'm going to addition them on the page. And I could put 3 cats on a double spread. I could have 1 cat on each spread. Anything that you want is what you can do. You just have to pay attention to where the fold is. I want some variation, so I want different cats, I want different size sentiments, I want the cats looking differently, one on the top, one on the bottom, just to build interest. Because this right here, we have a double page spread, and even though I am setting them up as 2 pages, it does work together. You could put 2 cats and 1 sentiment if that's what you prefer, or whatever focal image you're using. I'm cutting up the sentiments to fit the page. If there's something on the background that I don't like, I can strategically place one of my focal images or the sentiments to block it. I'm playing with the orientation, composition of this. switching out cats. And when I'm happy, I'm going to grab my fluid matte medium and glue it down. Now these cats I've stamped on my copy paper. I get the copy paper from Costco. It's a heavier weight than most, and it's bright white. I believe the brand is Roland, but you could stamp it out on mixed media paper or cover stock. And I put the glue underneath and on top. This little CAT-TI-TUDE book would make a nice gift for someone who is a cat lover. Now to finish off this page, I'm using my Sakura glaze pen and I'm going around the outside edge just to give it a bit of a border. And I believe I go around the sentiment as well. The Sakura glaze, if you don't know about it, they dry, they are permanent and glossy and dimensional. You could use your fine line applicator to do that same thing. Two ways to get the same effect. And I'll put a link in the description box to both of those ways. So here I'm playing with, I think there's a part there that I want to cover up, so I'm playing with the sentiment. If you didn't want to make a zine out of this, you could just cut it into ATC size or iCAD size and do the same thing. Use your background as a masterboard that you can use for whatever projects you want. Are you looking for sentiments in particular on a theme? If you're looking for something, put it in the description box or in the comment section. Maybe I'll make a sentiment pack that you're looking for. So basically, I'm repeating the same thing with each double page spread. Lots of cutting, lots of playing around, additioning. Now, this page, you want to make sure that it's completely dry and not tacky because you're going to fold it over to do the next page. And you don't want your pages to stick down. So once you have the background, you could do that in one creative session. You could be stamping and cutting out the sentiments in another session. Do one page in another one. And it allows you to get creative in short spurts of time. Don't think that you have to do it all in one sitting. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go to Instagram and follow me at Creative Katie. I often post there before the videos go up. I chose not to shade around the crazy cats or around the sentiments on here, but you could have done that as well. Here are some close-ups of all the finished pages. I love the bright colors and I love those crazy cats. I hope you try making a mini zine, whether it's with cats, dogs, butterflies, or whatever makes you smile. Bye for now.